Hello, hello, hello. Mm-mm-mm. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did you miss me? Miss me. Now you gotta kiss me. Hello, hello, hello. Let me cross my legs, honey. Because I'm a lady. And that's what ladies do. Yes? Hello, Amy Just Livin'. Hello, Sophia. Hello, Jin Jin. Hello, Princess. Hello, Demia Scott. Hey, De Jesus. Donna said, I was wondering where you were. Girl, I was on vacation. Girl, I needed to rest. Alyssa said, hello, and why I live for your lives. Thank you. Cluck said, K Lux said, hey, I've never caught you live, girl. Girl, welcome to the party, honey. Welcome to the party. Yes, honey, I was on vacation. I look refreshed. Well, I will tell you one thing, honey. When you're traveling with kids, there's no refreshment. Honey, I'm toe up from the flow up. How was vacay? My vacay was good, girl. But I will be honest with you, I did miss you all. Did you miss me? I'm such a flirt, girl. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Anwar White. They call me Coach Anwar. So what's it? Don't ever go away for so long ever again. JK, but I did miss you. I'm a dating coach. I've been a dating coach for 14, almost 15 years now. And I help Black and brown women get into the best relationship of their lives and heal their hearts and date with strategy. So if that is something that's of interest to you, that you definitely want to check the link in my bio, book a consultation call with me, or check and start listening to my podcast called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. Yeah. Where was I, honey? I took my family to Berlin, Germany, and then we went to Rome, Italy. Yes. Good. So for those ladies that are new to my lives, here's what we do. We're going to talk. I want you to ask your questions about love, dating, relationships, men and or women, right? We're all inclusive here. And I will answer them in the order that I see them. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time for me to get to them because I'll probably have, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 people on TikTok and a couple hundred on Instagram. But please be patient. It is a tenet. It's a very foundational part of feminine energy. So, patience is a virtue. Yeah. So put your questions in the chat and I will answer them. Okay. And we'll go from there. We'll be on for a little bit. I've been trying to go to bed a little bit earlier because I'm waking up early because, girl, I want to get in shape, honey. I want to work out. Wake up early to get this body in shape, girl. Thank you for all the love, all of the, letting them, I'm just seeing all of this. Miss you. Thank you so much. Love you. Oh my gosh, missed your face. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so girls, what's the tea? What's going on? Y'all got men? What's the tea? You dating? How can I help? That's what I want to know. Okay. Nina said, what? I didn't know you had a podcast. Yeah, girl, it's called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. It is a top podcast around the world. I'll tell you that much. Mercer said, is it rude of me to ask for a full body photo before a date since he only had headshots on his profile? No, but I think you can, I wouldn't do it, but I think you can ask about it. I guess the question that I would pose to you is, if a guy asked you for full body pictures, how would you feel? Yeah? Someone said, can you meet men at a business networking event? 100%. But the tea about that is that all those people are going to be talking business. You got to give 50% business, 50% personal. That's how you stand out from the crowd, and that's how you alleviate people's nervousness in those like networking events, because everybody's kind of a little bit nervous there. Lilo Shun said, how do we confidently date as dark-skinned black women when everybody's eyes mixed or light-skinned women? Or I think you meant likes. First of all, if I were a darker-skinned woman, I would make sure that the people I was talking to, I would be like 40% black guys, 40% white guys, 20% other. That would be my ratio. I think sometimes darker skinned women are like thinking like these white guys are not checking for them. Girl, those white guys are checking for you more than they're checking for the light skinned girls. So you gotta know the lane. You gotta know whose type you are. Yeah. So I would just be a bit open for that. That's all I'm saying. I think a lot of darker skinned women don't do that. They think, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to find like a dark skinned king, and please go ahead and do that." But sometimes they can be the most colorist. Yeah. So something to think about. Okay. Let me see. Let me see the questions. Selena said, how do I keep the conversation flowing? I feel like I'm so awkward and shy. One of the things that I would say, like when you're like having a conversation with someone, first, it's not your job to keep the conversation going. It's actually his job. But what you want to do is make sure that when he is asking questions or he is kind of talking, that anytime you respond also with a question, some sort of banter, right? A lot of women, what's happening is that you're having conversations, but then you're just answering the question, but you're not what I call hot potatoing. Hey, do you come here often? Yeah, I do. Girl, you deaded the conversation. He's got to pick it back up, and he shouldn't have to pick it back up. You got to volley it back to him, girl. So most of the time, it's really about making sure that you're playing hot potato in these conversations. And make sure that when you are asking questions, you're asking more like how and why questions, right? So that they have to explain or tell a story when they're answering your questions. So that's what I would say here. Jojo said first date tips. I'm going to do a video on first dates and like how to get the most out of your first dates. But I will tell you this. You want to have a phone date before your first date so that the first date doesn't feel like a full-on first date. So that the first date actually feels more like a second date. So like all of that nervous energy that you would normally have, you like not having as much. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you want to like be on the phone with like a friend before the date. While you're getting ready, have some music so you can loosen up a little bit, so that it's easier to be your full authentic self. Because like if you're on the phone with your friend and then you hang up on her and then you go to the date, you're not going to fake the funk. You're going to kind of be in your mode, and then he's going to be able to see the side that your friends and family see of you. And that's what you want. So I'll give you that. I'll provide the rest in my video. Chantmont said, how can you tell when a man is not love bombing you? Well, I always think that love bombing, pet names, it's like love bombing 101. When he over compliments you, and you know how that goes. No shade, but there are a lot of African men that will over compliment you. That's love bombing. And then the other thing that I see quite a bit is they'll talk about what they want to do 6-12 months from now. Like you'll be on a first date with them and then they'll say, oh my God, on Christmas I want to take you to Paris. You're like, this is the first date, dude. Or he's saying, I love you. It's like, dude, you don't even know me. That's the love bomb. The other thing that I think is important that isn't really talked about a lot, but I think we should be talking about, is the fact that love bombers have extreme reactions to different things. So let's say you set a boundary with a guy and he apologizes more than 1 or 2 times. That's a love bomb too. If he's apologizing 5, 6, 8, 9 times, girl, that's a love bomb. It's the over compliments, it's the over apologies, it's the over anything. That's a lip balm. So I hope that helps. Um, So I'm not going to answer any questions about like being sugar babies or like using men for money. I think that's more Shira Seven's lane and some other like sugar babies here on like TikTok. Um, I'm more focused on love relationships and less on transactional relationships. Okay. Um, Tiff said, easiest way to get over someone you know is wrong for you. Well, I guess it really depends on how they're wrong for you, right? You might want to make a list, an accurate list of the good and the not so good things. But here's what I want to offer to you. The healthiest relationships have a 5-to-1 ratio, 5 positive things to 1 negative thing. So if you are making a list and you have highlighted 8 positive things and 8 negative things, it's basically the same as having 40 negative things to 8 positive things. You have to multiply the negative list times 5. And that, I think, will give you a stark difference about how wrong someone is for you. User 576, do you feel recharged after the vacation? No, girl, I don't. I was exhausted because I was traveling with 3 kids. So I had to literally take 2 or 3 days after the vacation to just like rest and sleep. And I was in a little bit of a funky mood. No shade, girl, but I'm back. I feel better. Yeah. Latac Photography said, I love your page. Thank you so much, girl. Vibin said, what do you say about men that are avoidant attachment? I don't say anything about them or to them because ultimately, most of the guys that are single are going to be avoidant. The guys that are anxious are hung up on a girl. So they're going to be chasing her, and that's it. The guys that are secure are probably going to be in relationships. So the majority of the single field are going to be avoidant men. That's why it's going to be important for you to be vulnerable, to test and evaluate whether they have the emotional capacity to hold space for you and not run away. Nemesis said, your video about late bloomers and Maslow's hierarchy answers a lot of questions. It validated a lot. Thank you. Very important information. You're so welcome. Chrissy said, I just celebrated my 40th birthday. I'm in the happiest, healthiest relationship of my life, thanks to you. No, girl, it's thanks to you. I'm so happy for you. Okay, thank you so much for the rose. Someone said, what do you think about the age difference? 29 female, 30 male. Girl, that's fine. I always say plus 10 years, minus 5 years. And most of my clients are getting with guys that are younger, like 3 to 6 years younger. So don't shade or ignore the guys that are younger. Give them a chance, girl. Give them a chance. Act Normal said, Anwar, you helped me find my man. Can't thank you enough for the advice over this past year. You're so welcome. Work out. Tiff Monet said, where you been, sir? Girl, I was on vacation. Girl, vacation with my family. Tabby Berry said, where can I find nice Christian men other than church? Volunteer, girl. Volunteer. Habitat for Humanity, girl. Local soup kitchen. That's where they are. That's what I would say. And when you are, if you're a Christian woman, one of the dates that you want to have when you're in the courtship, I was literally having a conversation with some producers that I was meeting with for this TV show that probably will be happening, is you want to have a volunteer date. Why? Because you want to see how he feels about the cause, how he treats these individuals, and also how he works. Is he lazy? Does he do work for 5 minutes and then stop? Is he always taking breaks? Or is he going hard? Is he being helpful for other people? You want to see all of that. Chris Lowe said, I got my guy. Good, girl. I'm happy for you. Tink said, African men and American black women. I want to be honest with you, and I got a lot of shit earlier this year because I did a whole video on Nigerian men. A lot of African men, specifically Nigerian men, they are going to marry Nigerian women. Not all of them, but a good number of them. And they might already have families and wives in Nigeria. So, what do I say to it? I'm going to give you one of these. Actually, I'm going to vogue it because I'm feeling in a voguing mood right now. And, girl, I'm going to wish you the best of luck. Yeah. Someone said, there's a guy that watches my stories on IG consistently. Does that mean he's interested? No, girl. It means he's giving you big brother tea. If he was interested, he would be taking you out on a date. Ojevwe said, as a Nigerian, I agree. Yeah. I know. People always ask me, how do you know so much about the Nigerians? Girl, 23andMe said I'm 25% Nigerian. So I know a good 25% of it, honey. Tiff Neka said I'm Nigerian and agree too. Kate Cat said, girl, how am I going to find a guy that likes big girls? Okay. So there are a lot of like stack bodybuilders that are into big girls. They're into anything that's big. They're trying to get as big as possible. They want big. So check for those bodybuilder guys, girl. Check for the black and Hispanic guys. Check for the gamers, the tall, lanky gamers, girl. Check for the older men. They're checking for the big girls. You call it big girls, so I'm going to call it big girls. Check for the guys that are like half your size. Yeah? Those are the guys that are checking. Yeah, someone mentioned the package. Girl, the bodybuilders, because they're on that roids, girl, it just shrinks up, girl. It shrinks up. But girl, the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away, honey. You know what I mean? So, yeah. If that is something that's important to you, girl, go for those guys that are half your size, those short kings, girl, because they're packing. But that's what I know about the men that are checking for the big girls. Simone said, damn, you saying we gotta compromise? I'm just sharing based on my experience who's checking for the big girls. Yeah. CDL said, love when we get the real tea tips. You're so good at what you do. Thank you so much, girl. I appreciate that. April said, where can we find the pod? Girl, on Apple, on Spotify, anywhere that you listen to podcasts, you'll find my podcast, the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. Okay? Jordan said, we are having our 4th date this weekend. Go, girl. I love 4th dates. Now, did you do what I taught you to do, girl? Which is give that 3rd date gift, that small, thoughtful gift. If not, do it on that 4th date, girl. All right, Jordan? I'm giving you this tea because you've been with me for a while, and I want to make sure that you are getting your life. Alin said, had a date with a guy and went to his house and saw little roaches. I left so fast. Girl. Raid? You can tell a lot about a man by the way that he keeps his house and his car. So you want to check that. Because if he can't keep his own house together, if he can't keep his car together, then if you're with him in the longer run, that's going to be your labor, not his. So he's going to be a child, a dependent. So you want to check that. That's important. That is one of the major things that's contributing to a lot of divorces. Women are fed up and overworked and overwhelmed, and they just say, I quit. Ash Clark said, happy and annoyed I found you just as I met my man. We together 5 months and I still listen to you like I'm single. Thank you. You're so welcome. Views said, I'm weak. Why are you weak, girl? Ash Clark said, that third date gift thing is key. Girl, that is a sliver of the tea that I give my clients, girl. Please understand. They got a whole strategy. Every date, I'm telling them exactly what they need to do, what kind of date it needs to be, and everything that aligns with the male psyche so that you can get your guy. So if you're interested in that, apply to book a call with me so you can get into one of my programs. Okay? Okay, Simone says, is being a bratty woman a bad thing in dating? Should you change or compromise? Well, being a brat is like being a little girl. Nobody wants little girls except for pervs. So what I want to offer to you is that instead of thinking that you need to be a brat, I want you to think that you need to have very clear boundaries and you can't be afraid to express them. Okay? Now, sometimes that can be considered bratty by some people, but so be it. I literally had an 1.5-hour session with my clients right now all about boundaries and how to navigate them. Okay? Andrea said, will a professional man approach me at work? Probably not. But what you'll need to do is get off of campus with them, have lunch so you can talk about more personal things to let him know that there's a green light and go from there. Now, I'm not someone who really is like a huge proponent of finding your person at work, but I wouldn't be doing my job as a dating coach if I didn't share this with you, because finding someone at work is still the third most popular way to find someone. Bengal said, tea on men who say they don't like women who complain too much and nag. Yeah, men don't like that, because when you do that, what you're telling them, what you're letting them know is that they're inadequate. And you're going to remind them of their mother, especially if the guy is black, and he's going to run the other way. Instead of nag and complain, inspire. That's your job. And once you learn how to inspire, girl, there is nothing that is going to stop you. These men will do everything once you inspire them. Yeah? Makeup Serena said, we need a new episode. Girl, it's coming tomorrow. So check that. K. Cole said, 50 plus club, the struggle is real. 100%. And this is why I'm having a seminar for the ladies that are 50 plus in my program, because it's a different experience. Someone's asking me, how do you inspire? I might do a video about this, but it's about being in your feminine energy. You're gonna have to share your feelings. And this is something that I really kind of teach my clients on a circumstantial basis, but that's key, girl. It's key. Men want to make you feel good. So you have to share with him what's going to make you feel good. You got to pump him up. You know those like trainers in the corners for their boxers? Like, champ, you can do this. You got this. Da 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 da. That's the inspiration, girl. Skin Ritual said, what do you think about the black cat trend? I think it's real. And more women are becoming black cats. So the thing is, in relationships, you have to find your complement. A lot of women are trying to find their clone, and it doesn't work. You're trying to find the male version of you. Bumping heads, girl. You gotta find that complement. Okay? Jordan, thank you so much for the applause. CD Elsa just went and followed your podcast. Thank you so much, girl. Appreciate it. Ashante said, are you a matchmaker? Because I need to hire you. I'm not a matchmaker. I am a dating coach. So I help ladies become their own best matchmaker. That's what I truly believe that you are your own best matchmaker. And to be honest with you, if you're a black woman, don't ever get a matchmaker. They don't know how to match you. They barely know how to match the white girls. So I think the average success rate is 5%. And just ask yourself this. Do you know anyone that's gone to a matchmaker that has had success and is now married to their person? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb. Eclectic said he is the best dating coach. Thank you, girl. I appreciate that. Okay. Let me see what y'all are talking about. I gotta hurry up, girl. I am late on the late freight tonight, honey. Iman said, Iman Unique, and we love you. Thank you, girl. Thank you also for so much love, honey. Amy Just Living said, dating a light skin mom is white. Do I run? Girl, aren't the Olympics coming? Girl, you better run in one of those races. I wouldn't do it. DD Malloy said, what keeps you most passionate about your work? Just helping women step into their power that they are divinely given. I want to help women of color get the love that they deserve, especially black women. I think that black women are divine and they deserve everything and more. So I am inspired by the beauty and the energy and the divinity of black women. That's it. So sometimes I might say things that are very abrupt. I just try to give you the tea because I'd rather you go into this dating thing with clear eyes. Yeah? Sometimes people are like, oh my God, he's a hater. He doesn't like women. And no, I just want you to know like what it really looks like out there. You know? That's what it's about. I really try to say a lot of things that people aren't talking about so that you are as prepared as possible, because I know that in many of our households, we're not necessarily taught how to date. So you have to try to like figure it out on your own. And it just doesn't work like that. Like, it's like being in a war without any sort of protection, any sort of weapons or anything like that. Okay. Okay. I'm finding that more African men seem to be drawn to me than American. Why is that? Girl, I don't know. I have to see what you look like. You might be giving more African features. So you might be passable. You might be acceptable to the family. Also, you might be a bit thicker. African men love thicker women. So they just might be generally attracted to you. But I don't have a picture and I don't know you, so I can't really answer it for true. Shanti said, you still take calls, I want to book one. Yeah, so my consultation calls are really for women that are ready to start professional dating coaching and are trying to figure out if we're going to be a fit or not. It's never, let me just kiki with Amor. That's why I come on these lives. We can kiki here. So don't book a call if you just want to get free advice, because we can sniff that out and we'll cancel it. So if you're ready, definitely book a call. A said, I never skip Amor's live. Thank you, girl. Leah said, I've got your videos saved for therapy. I know that's right. Felicia said, do dark-skinned men experience colorism from women? Do they get as many opportunities for girls? It goes in waves, but they're not getting as much play as the lighter skinned guys, and I think we all know this. So there is a duo out here called Shits and Giggles or Gigs. There's a lighter skinned man and there's a darker skinned man. Many of you know, you've seen them either on Instagram or TikTok. I will bet my bottom dollar that 80% of you were feeling the lighter skinned man before the darker skinned man. And in my observation, Fuha, the darker skinned man, is more marriage material than the lighter skinned man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that they have a harder time as well, unfortunately. Harleen said, you never give advice for us South Asian girls. My advice is for everyone, right? Because you know what's really interesting? A lot of our experiences are actually, lived experiences are very similar. We all have overly critical and judgmental mothers and, you know, emotionally or physically absent fathers. Clock that T. Bree said, how do you feel about long-distance Caribbean relationships? I haven't seen a successful one from 90 Day Fiancé, I'll tell you that much. Manifest said, between you and Sherry, getting myself all the way together. Good. Someone asked, advice for women of color in college trying to date. Definitely study abroad. That junior year, you should be abroad, girl. Pick up a new language and be dating 5 guys at the same time. It's one of the reasons why I'm fluent in 5 or 6 languages. It looks good on the resume and it gives you the experience of dating without the potential judgment of living on campus. The other thing, especially if you're a woman of color, the first inclination for many of us is to start in those, like, you know, the black clubs or the Hispanic clubs or what have you. Go into clubs that are, you know, hobby or passion based as well, right? Really expand your horizons. The other thing that I would say is stay away from the frats. Not much good can come of it, girl. Don't stay around 2 o'clock, girl. It's kind of like a Diddy party, girl. After 1:30, that's when the shit gets crazy, girl. Leave then, girl. So yeah. Skin Ritual said, oh, we love you more. Thank you, girl. Yo, Willie, thank you so much for the hearts. Cass said, just moved to ATL. Should I run home to California? No, girl, but in ATL, here's the gag. On your apps, you want to have one app in ATL, but then you want to have one app somewhere else. Chattanooga, Charlotte, North Carolina, one surrounding city around Atlanta. Okay? Most of my Atlanta clients, I would say half my Atlanta clients get their guy in Atlanta, the other half get their guy outside of Atlanta. I just had a client last week get her guy, and she lives in Atlanta. Hot Atlanta girl. Let me see what y'all are talking about. More questions. Rare Candy said, I matched with a guy on Hinge. We've been texting, but he hasn't asked me out. If he hasn't asked you out in a week, he's got to go. Catherine said, thoughts on dating Italian men. So I lived in Italy for a year. Are you talking about Italian Americans, or are we talking about Italians from the motherland of Italy? Italians are very sensitive. Most of them are packing. Thick, girl, like Dominican thick. They're spoiled because their mothers do everything for them. And many of them don't leave the house until they get married. The mothers cook, clean, laundry, everything. So many of them are trying to replace their mothers. I dated too many of them when I lived in Italy. Someone asked, how do we marry rich? That's a good question. You're going to have money to marry money, because you're going to have to be in the circles and the events to meet them. No shade, girl, you're not going to find a wealthy man flying Spirit or Frontier Airlines, but you will at the Centurion Lounge or Singapore Airlines, right? You'll meet them at the Cannes Film Festival or the F1 race or some of the some other events that happen around the world. It takes money. Polo races, country clubs, right? This is important because I think some girls think that, oh my God, I just have to like go to like a hotel, like a wealthy hotel place, and then I'll just find a rich man and he'll pick me up, and it's like Pretty Woman all over again. Girl, most of the men there, if you're dressed, have a short dress on and you're at a hotel bar, they're gonna think that you're a prostitute. And they might engage, no shade. So, if you are looking for like marriage, you also have to understand that, and I'm talking about wealthy men, I'm not talking about rich men, there's a difference. You're gonna have to have a certain pedigree. You're going to have to be able to speak on certain topics like AI and biotechnology and manifestation and religion and God, because they believe in all of that. And money. That's the funny thing. A lot of wealthy people talk about money. They don't talk about it in numbers, but they talk about the subject of it. So that's important. And I think that's something that a lot of non-rich or wealthy people think, oh my God, never talk about money. No, they talk about it. Yeah. So that's the thing. The other thing is, one of the differences between rich and wealthy men is like, the rich guy is kind of like new money. So he's still working for his money. So he's going to be impatient and always in a rush. He's the kind of guy that's going to be like, do you know who I am at a restaurant when something goes wrong? The wealthy guy has his money working for him. So he owns his time. And he's generally more quiet, and he understands that he can learn something from anybody and everyone. So he is engaging with a variety of different people because he understands that relationships are everything. And that if you cultivate them, everybody will do everything for you, right? So I'm giving you some tea in terms of how to differentiate between rich and wealthy men. You don't want a rich man, you want a wealthy man. Wealthy men will date women their age. Rich men will date the younger girls because he wants to impress other people. Wealthy men are not trying to impress other people. They're trying to impress themselves. They're trying to level up and maximize their own potential. Okay. I hope this is helpful. And I just wanted to kind of give you a little bit of game because some of these girls are thinking, oh my God, if I just get a rich man, my life will be great. No, it won't. You're trying to use this man to save you from your own life. And your job is to be your own hero and save yourself. That is how you get a wealthy man. When you when you're asking questions about how do I find a rich man, you're already approaching your love life and dating life in a disempowered state. You will never get into a healthy relationship because you will have already pedestalized this man, this rich man. Sometimes the girls don't want to hear it, but I want to share this with you because, you can follow these girls about get you a rich man, get you a rich man. The other thing that people don't think about is that the rich men that I was telling you before, they are working all the time because they're trying to make more and more money. And the more that they work, the more money that they get. So you can get with a rich man, but girl, you're gonna be a single mother and you're gonna be lonely. And most of us really do appreciate quality time. You think that money will make you happy. Ask any rich person, they'll tell you it doesn't. So, most women that get with rich men are very lonely and miserable. So I hope that's helpful for you. Yeah, you got that right, skin rituals. Rich men aspire to be wealthy men, 100%. Wealthy men are chill. They're not loud because they don't have to be. Yeah. Casina said, do Hispanic men date black women? They do. They do. But a lot of Hispanic men cheat, girl. For all of the black girls that have dated Hispanic men, what has been your experience? Put it in the chat, girl. We're all family here, no shade. Jen said, he's bad at communicating. Should I dump him? I mean, it doesn't get better from here. It gets worse. Yeah? Someone asked, what's his podcast? It's called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. When you're searching podcasts, just search my name, girl. My podcast will come up immediately. Glow with Denise said, I'm Hispanic and yes, they cheat. Someone said foot fetishes. Girl, I think that's the Middle Eastern men and the Arab men, girl. They got more fetishes. Someone asked, how do I make a man miss me? I think that is the wrong question to ask, because when I hear a question like that, it means that you've lost your power. That means that you're prioritizing his feelings more than yours. You shouldn't have to make a man miss you. He should already miss you. The fact that you feel like you have to do that lets me know that he's not feeling you as he should. So he's probably not your person. Like, as someone who gets women into 2 to 3 women into relationships every week, do you know what it looks like? One of my clients just told me, who just got into a relationship last week, this man doesn't play about me. That's what she told me, verbatim, word for word. You're gonna have to fight them off with a stick. You know, when you were growing up, for the girls who had siblings and you had like a little sister or a little brother that would follow you everywhere that you went, you're like, oh my God, you're so annoying. And then like you would ignore them, or a cousin that was like that because they were always talking to you, always wanting to do whatever with you. That's how these men are, girl, that are your guys. Yeah. So if you have to try to make him miss you, he's not your man. Maya said, literally 10 out of 10 podcasts. Thank you, girl. Someone said, Cynthia said, they cheat but take good care of you. Sounds like Nigerians, girl. Sounds like Nigerians. And that's no shade, that's tea, girl. K-pop said, what do you think of taking turns to pay? I don't know what that means. What do you mean? Pay. Yeah, that's weird to me. That's odd. You must be speaking a different language. I know your name is K-pop. Maybe this is Korean. I don't know. Somebody explain what that means, girl, because I don't. I don't know. I don't know. I know a lot of languages, but I don't know that one. Um, it's weird. Like, you know, social media is global. People use different languages, and we want to be accepting of those languages. Mm-hmm. Someone said, I took turns to pay when I was in college. Even if you're in college, girl, don't pay. Don't use that leftover fast food money for no man, girl. Yeah? I don't care if that man in college has to take you to McDonald's. You're not paying for that Happy Meal, girl. You're not paying for that number 5. Krista said he's being sarcastic, y'all. Mm-hmm. I'm so glad that most of the ladies know that we don't do that. People are gagging on that leftover FAFSA money. I mean, that's how we all survived college, right? Someone said, I'm an intern. Should I go after an analyst in my department? No, girl. Go for another intern or, find other people in college, girl. Don't go for an analyst. Ava said, I missed that fast for money. Exactly. Me too, girl. Honey, I thought I was rich at the beginning of the semester. And then mid-semester, I was poor. And I had to get some of those on-campus jobs, girl. Because you know that financial aid department was not looking out for you. Y'all know what I mean. Honey, just rude for no reason. Some of these men are acting like financial aid offices. Yes, honey, that work steady, girl. All right, let me see what y'all are talking about here. Mother of all signs said, my birthday was the other day, and he said I was unreasonable because I told him I didn't want to plan my own. Then be unreasonable. His job is to make it happen. He didn't want to do it. So then he labeled you something. Not healthy. Trillness said, how long to be on a dating app per day? 10, 20 minutes a day. Lux Life said, are Irishmen faithful? Y'all, I am a fan of the Irishmen. I am a fan of them. Okay? Now, every group of people are going to do what they're going to do. But honey, the Irish have been through something. There's a kinship there. Are Jamaican men generous? With what? You can only be generous when you have things. They're generous in length and size. That's about it. Money? Back in the old days when we have to barter and trade, they might trade you for some coconut, squirrel, no shade. But no, not generous. Marquisi said, how do I get a consultation? Go to the link in my bio and click on book a consultation. Yeah. Lemon said, married one, they are only good for eggplant and cooking oxtails, but unfortunately they want you to take care of them. Girl, the bigger the D, the bigger the heartbreak. That's what I know. Okay, let me see what y'all are talking about. Bianca said, dating a nerd that says he gets nervous by me. Good sign? Yes, because he's putting you on a pedestal as the queen that you are. Your guys should be nervous about you. Your guys should be, because they know that you're everything. So, I like it. Someone said, trade for some coconuts. I'm at least worth a goat. Gone, girl. Get it, girl. I know that's right. Bianca said, you're iconic. Thank you, girl. Moyo said, which African man has the best rap? I'm going to let you all answer that in the comments, girl, because, honey, I can't be talking too much about the African men, girl. They will get me. They'll get me, girl. They'll get me, girl. Girl, love nervous guys. Because they want to please you and they want to satisfy you. MK said they will hex you. Girl, they already did, girl. I had to call my grandmother to protect me. After I called her and she prayed over me, I knew I was all right. But there were some that were hexing me, girl. Then Coco said, half Jamaican here. Don't worry, my dad, and he never paid child support. Ooh, I don't know my dad, and he never paid child support. Ooh, girl, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, let me see what y'all are talking about. We'll do some crowdsourcing about these African men, honey. Kathy said, your comment on who not to date, I shared with my team. Good. Nat said, how do you feel about the League for Women of Color? Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Naomi said, Amor, I love your shirt and how much you love us. Thank you, girl. Sin said, my man's not nervous enough. Girl, you don't want nonchalant. You want chalant. You want major chalant. Okay? Don't do the League, girl. Amanda said, Anwar, do some calls. No, girl. I just came from a call with my clients. Gwen said, your skin looks amazing. Thank you, girl. It's that snail mucin, girl. And that tretinoin in the nighttime. Sydney said, where can I get a white man? As I just saw your video. Okay. It depends. What kind of white man do you want? That's the tea, girl. Give me some kinds of white men, and then I'll let you know. I'm kind of like a white man connoisseur. Okay? I kind of know like what the tea is with the white man. Someone said, what's the League? It's a dating app. Tiwala said, we need to bubble wrap Anwar. Okay, white men be at the gym. I want another one. All right, your challenge this week is to talk to 3 white men. And the police doesn't count, girl. Someone said REI. Yes, girl. Brooks Brothers, Banana Republic. Baseball games, hockey games. Hiking clubs. Yes, ma'am. Bass Pro Shop. Yes, honey. MK, you're right. I'm not talking about poor whites or even middle class whites. This has to be upper middle class or upper class whites. Because a middle class white is like a poor anybody else. Yes, girl, pickleball. Yeah, they're everywhere, unfortunately. Yeah, pickleball for sure. Europe, golf course. That's getting a little tired, girl. The breweries, yes, yes for that. Yeah, any sort of REI, Patagonia stores. Yeah, when I tell you, the happiest white guys that you will find, baseball games and hockey games. You will become their family. Okay? Farmer's market, that's so-so. Half of them are going to be gay, girl. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Classy white men who are smart. Probably more, there are certain bars, I'm talking about bigger cities, where all of like the finance and consultants go to. Okay, so if they wear that vest over their collared shirt, that's who you're looking for. If you find them in a group of 3, just follow them. It's like, a whiskey bar. Correct, all out. They'll be there, but anywhere near their building, because they're just working too much. So a finance area. That Patagonia vest, girl. I'm trying to think if there's any other places. Online. These white guys online will talk to you online more often than they'll talk to you in real life. You have to start talking to them. What's happening is that many of you all are not talking to them, and then you feel like, oh, these guys aren't checking for you. They're not checking for you because you're not giving them, like, energy, green light. Yeah? Oh, for sure. Alumni events. That's a good one. No, not Costco, girl. Most of them are married. Don't go to Costco, girl, unless you want to break up a happy home. Sayidana said, what about dating down financially? Why would you do that? Marriage is about privilege. It has to be additive when you get married in all aspects. Yeah, fundraisers, art auctions. Yeah, I'm like so on the galleries because most of those guys are going to be gay. But like the auctions, yachting. Yeah. Yeah, girl, don't date down. What are we talking about here? Is it opposite day? No, we can't do that. A lot of people talking about Home Depot. Don't do that, girl. Okay, also, A lot of eligible bachelors, many of them white, will be going grocery shopping Saturday and Sunday morning. So you might want to do that because that's when they do their meal prepping, girl. Yeah. Do white guys like black girls? About a third of them do. A lot of those guys at Home Depot are picking up light bulbs for their wives, girl. Or their workers. Nothing wrong with that. Chloe Hummingbird said he knows when they meal prep. Girl, I've been doing this for 14 years. Anyway, okay, let me see what the girls are talking about. Chase said, Anwar, what do you think about meeting wealthy men by frequenting their after work spots? That's what I'm talking about. Definitely do that. But what I think is important and fun is you want to go to those spots with like one or two girlfriends. Don't do it alone. Triple Heart said, it's true, I work at a grocery store and they meal prep in the morning. Mm-hmm. Someone said, see, I heard going to the grocery store late was key. No, girl. Don't do that. Stay Fit said, Lord, please go on tour. We need to meet you. Girl, I'm working on a book now. Once I get this book together, I'm going on tour. And you know what we're going to do on my tour? Did you ever see that Sex and the City episode when she was like supposed to have an event for her book and like the 3 people came? She was like, the hell with it. Let's go to a club, a bar. That's what I'm going to do after all of my readings, girl. We're going to go to a local bar and we're just going to talk to these men, honey. Oh my God, it's going to be so much fun. Yes, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, for sure. Kathleen said, come to Houston. Yeah, I think I'm going to New York, Chicago, DC, Atlanta, Houston, and LA, probably. Yeah, for the tour. Girl, Austin. No, girl. Austin's too weird for me. #03689. What is your book mostly about? It's going to be a book about... It's going to be a dating Bible for Black women. Because there's not really one out there. There's the Think Like a Man, Steve Harvey's book, but womp womp on that. The Illa said, don't probably us in LA. No, girl, I'll get there, girl. I'll get there, don't worry about it. Hot Damali said, how to talk to your crush at the gym. Okay. You're going to need to ask for help. You're going to need to ask him to help you put on some weights or ask you for a technique or even just say hello. Gold Digger said, men gonna read it and find out how to trick us. Girl, men don't know how to read. Someone said, I can't wait to buy your book. Thank you. Right. Lioness said, the comprehension ain't there, sweets. Girl, I can barely read. Yeah. Rena Girl said, if we buy the book, will you sign it? I guess so, girl. But you know, I'm literally just a single mother, or sorry, a suburban mother of 3, doing what I can. I really don't think I'm hot shit. If you see me, girl, I just take my kids, like now I just take my kids to summer camp and pick them up and do my work in between time. So it's so funny when people are like, sign my book. Girl, I'm not nobody. I'm nobody's guru or nothing, girl. I'm just doing what I can and talk my shit. Amy just lived and said, will it be for plus size and brown skin? It's going to be for black and brown women. I'm going to have chapters about 4 single moms, 4 plus size, all of that. Okay. Oh my God, Lioness said, I want a hug, signature, and photo. Girl, you asking for a lot already. A lot. Nell Bell said, what's the tea on Black Gentry app? I don't really speak on them because they tried to come for me. They were mad because I didn't shout them out in my videos. So they were upset with me. Have many of your clients married white men? So two or 3 weeks ago, one of my clients got engaged to a white guy. I would say for my marriages, it's like 50-50. I'd have to look at the exact number, but like, it's kind of 50-50. Auntie Pie said, can I host you in Chicago? Thank you for the offer, girl, but I don't need to be on somebody's couch, girl. No, thank you for the offer. I'm gonna be good. Yeah. Thank you all for all of the support. It really does warm my heart. My youngest client, 26. Nell said, how should women approach men? So I don't really think women should like approach men, but I do think that you should open the space. So like, I think you should position yourself, but not approach. So you should be nearby. If you want to talk to someone, sit next to them. Say hello, start a conversation, ask for help, right? If you're at the grocery store, ask him to get you a can of soup, girl, right? Ask for a recommendation, compliment. You know what men love? Compliments. They will smile so hard because you have to understand something. Men never get compliments. Everyone's always shitting on them and always talking about how they're not good or they're not good enough. This is how guys bond, by razzing each other. This is how men respond to their parents as well as at work. Do better, do better, do better. So when you give them a compliment, all the walls are gonna fall down. Girl, he's gonna fall down like Humpty Dumpty, girl. Palm of your hands. Yeah? Monaco Butterfly said, if you're laughing, like the live. Yes, honey. Tap, double tap, triple tap the screen, honey. Girl. Give him that compliment, girl. Someone said, is that the same as stroking their ego? Do it in a way that is genuine and authentic, right? Like, you don't have to go up to a guy and say, you're fine, even if he is fine. You can say, I really like your shirt, right? Where'd you get it from? She is nice, he said. They blush like schoolgirls. They sure do. They turn into a 12-year-old awkward boy right in front of you. That's why I say men are so simple, because in reality, they're little boys inside. But many women actually pedestalize them and like put them in the role of their father. And we don't need to do that. They're all little boys. And I don't mean that in like a, like, a minimizing way. I mean that to help to empower you and to realize that a lot of them are navigating their lives from their inner child. And once you know that, you will be able to interact with them better. Yeah. Need to heal. Ask, do you work with LGBTQ? 100%. I work with all women. Lesbians, trans, bi, what have you. Thoughts on German men? Where are they from? The South, the East, or the West? So there's different German men. I lived in Germany for a while. Yeah. Simone says, does astrology have a place in your advice? I don't really talk about a lot of that, to be honest with you. Someone said they're done complimenting. Here's the thing. A lot of people are really burnt out in dating. When I'm saying this, I'm saying this because I want this to be a fun experience for you, right? That this gets to be fun if you let it. And that we don't have to take these guys as seriously as many of us do, right? Okay, let me see what's going on here. Someone said, you're so soothing. Thank you, girl. Appreciate it. Sandra said, what about those in our 50s? Okay, so let me give you some tea for my 50 girls, 50 plus ladies. You know what's been an app that's been working really well for my 50 plus? Silver Singles. Match is tired right now. Silver Singles. That's the tea right now for my 50 plus girls. Okay? So check that tea. Don't ever say I didn't give you nothing, girl. Mita said, do you have success stories? Every week. Every week. Belinda said, tips for girlies in new relationships. So one of the things that I do in my program, when my ladies get into relationships, it doesn't matter when they do, we always support them for the first month. Because something is going to happen in the first month on both sides. On your side and on his side. Because what happens is, we don't believe that we're in a relationship. And so oftentimes many of us are going to self-sabotage it to figure out, is it real? Can I trust this guy? And or you don't believe that you're truly ready or that you deserve to be in a relationship with a good guy. And so some people will pick fights. Some people do X, Y, and Z. So the best advice that I can give for your first month of a relationship is understanding and realizing that at some point in that first month, you will need reassurance, and so will he. Okay? Yeah. Someone said, thoughts on dating in this political moment? How much should we weigh on man's politics? You know what's really interesting? And I was listening to a podcast, I forget the name of the podcaster, but he made a really good point that watching that debate was very representative of the dating market. And you have one side that is like selfish and judgmental. You have a group of guys that are like this. Then you have another group of guys that are nice but can't do the job. Yeah. And so it can be really frustrating. But one of the things that I have to continue to reiterate is you're going to have to sift through it. You're going to have to sift through all of them. You have to realize that your person's going to be in the 1%. You're going to have, it used to be 100 conversations. Now it's closer to 200, maybe 250 conversations with people online and offline, to find your person. Yeah? So, um, don't get deterred. Take breaks, regular breaks. I am Queen. Naomi said, 200 with the same person? No. 200 with different kinds of guys to find your person. A lot of us are stopping when you talk to 20 or 30 guys after a couple of weeks, and you start and you stop and you do this start and stop thing, and you kill all of your dating momentum and therefore all of your results. This thing is a marathon. It's not a sprint. So you're gonna have to pace yourself. A lot of y'all go hard in the paint. You're on these apps all day, every day for a week, and then you get burnt the hell out. That's why I say 10, 15 minutes a day. Okay? A lot of y'all are freaking out when I've said 200. And if you're in Atlanta, you might need to double that, no shade. Okay? I'm sharing this with you so that you have a perspective around this. Someone said, thoughts on Raya, Noah. Good. All right. I'm going to, someone said, when to have the exclusivity talk, should he bring it up? You want to have it at the 2.5 to 3 month mark. Someone asked about dating apps we should use. This is something that I'm reserving just for my clients. It's a little bit tricky out there. So, and also I need to, what we do in my program, one of the first things that we do is we look at age, size, location, skin tone, personality to help to understand kind of where you should be and how we need to position your online profile, but also we're looking at all of that information, and we're also looking at how you embody your main character energy and what your flirt style is to help to inform what physical places you should go to meet guys, right? We have a framework for everything in my program. If that's something that's of interest to you, definitely book a consultation call, because it's very well thought out. Angie said, taking new clients on. Always taking on clients in my Get Your Guy Club, which is my group program. My VIP client, it depends. Sometimes we have a couple of slots open, sometimes we don't. It's not something that I monitor every day, but once you fill out the application, it will tell you. It will automatically put you on a wait list, or it will allow you to calendarize and book your session. Okay. City Gal said, Canadian, Indian men, and Black women. Do you see a lot of that mix in Toronto? I don't think so. Mita said, how long is your program? 6 to 12 months. Yeah. Good. All right. I'm going to go to bed because I've been waking up at 5 a.m. because I got to work on my fitness role. I'm starting to get this dad body. Got to keep it tight. Yeliza Studios said, he never gives head but treats me so well. If he's not giving you head, then you should not be throwing your neck at him, if you know what I mean. And that's how it goes. Yeah? All right, ladies. I hope that this was helpful for you. And book a call if you want to work with me. If not, continue coming to these lives and listen to my podcast. Alrighty? All right. Bye-bye.